annual Israel Film Center Festival. JCC Manhattan is proud to be the leading presenter of Israeli films in America. We say every year that there are so many films coming out of Israel that we need to have 2 festivals, and indeed, the other Israel Festival will return for its 11th year in November, but until then, we have something for everyone. All of this is made possible by the generous support and deep care of our friend and partner, Carole Zabar. Tonight is the kickoff of the Israel Film Center Festival. This festival highlights some of the best new films coming out of Israel's thriving industry. I'd like to especially thank the Israel Film Center team, Sabrina Bleich, Yara Kedem, Ravi Torjaman, and of course, Yitzi Zablocki, who will now speak.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you for all of your support. Over the last 15 years, we've watched Israeli films become from a hot budding industry into an established industry. Many of our film festivals films are huge hits in Israel. Many of them have been released in America. This year there were more than 10 there will be throughout the year, more than 10 Israeli films released theatrically in America. This is an amazing phenomenon that just keeps growing and getting better every year. This week we're presenting, just so you know how this whole festival works, this week we're presenting 2 films, tonight's film, and then on Tuesday night we're presenting Past Life. We'll have a few other films for you throughout the coming weeks, and then on June 7th through the 13th, we have many, many more films coming up, and please check them all out. Tickets are selling fast. This one sold out pretty quickly for a Sunday night at 8 p.m. I'm really, really impressed. You're all good fans, and we're hoping that all the films really get great crowds, because these films are great and should be appreciated by the audiences. If you can't catch these films here at the festival, we have our streaming site, israelfilmcenterstream.org. It's the largest site for Israeli films in the United States, and now has an Apple TV app as well, if you have Apple TV. So you can check out a lot of Israeli films there and continue enjoying the films throughout the year. I'd like to thank especially our partners who make this happen. A big, big thank you to IAC New York, folks from IAC, especially I know Sharon is here tonight. Thank you so much for the support. They keep coming back every year. El Al has been a wonderful supporter from the beginning. A new partner, Israel, came on board this year with wonderful support. They're opening a new hotel in Jerusalem in the German colony. I understand that's where the Upper West Side moves for the summer, so be sure to check that hotel out right on the corner of Emek Rafaim. United King, which is Israel's leading distributor, gives us many of the films. LBNY, J-Swipe, One Productions, the Israeli consulate, of course. Specifically tonight, I also want to thank Jofa, who I think connect nicely to this film. And all of our community partners and press partners, there are many, many more. Check them out online and check out their pages. These are wonderful organizations, and they help us spread the word, so you too, please help us spread the word. I'd like to second the thanks for the team here at the JCC, Sabrina, Yara, and Ravit. I couldn't ask for a better team. Everyone here at the JCC who helps support us with marketing and AV and design, and it's really, there's a lot that goes into this, and we have a fabulous institution here that helps make this all happen relatively smoothly, I might add. The JCC has truly become a home for Israeli culture, and I want to really thank our leadership, the board, some of them are here tonight, for promoting that and saying this is something that we want to see the JCC become. And now we could talk about tonight's film. That was pretty fast, right? Tonight's film. I'm very excited. This film, first of all, I'm going to say this about 6 times, opens this weekend at Lincoln Plaza and at the Quad downtown, so be sure to tell your friends. The more successful these films are in the box office, the more Israeli films actually get picked up. The Women's Balcony was Israel's #1 box office hit of this past year. The success of Israel's film industry, I believe, is very connected to this film. Israeli filmmakers found their voice not by telling necessarily the political stories that you would expect, but actually telling stories from within, telling their own human drama. And they all have, and you'll see it in tonight's film, unique and identified language. These films are universal stories that are very specific to Israeli culture. The Woman's Balcony, and as I said, is a perfect example. It is an extremely personal story about a very specific community from within Israel, and yet can only take place in Jerusalem. This is not the women's section of Lincoln Square Synagogue, for those of you who are familiar. This is a very different world, but it's part of our community. And its humanity and level of production and its writing, I think, and of course performances, speak universally and make it a relatable film for absolutely anyone. Anyone can enjoy tonight's film and connect to it. We're excited to have here tonight one of the creators of the film, the writer and inspiration behind it, Shlomit Nechama. Shlomit, where are you? Over there, Shlomit. And if that was not enough, we're blessed to have here one of Israel's, one of the stars of the film, and a well-known performer, Einat Sarouf. For those who are, I think a lot of you are familiar, she's an international phenomenon. She describes herself on our website as a true Israeli singer. And your husband wrote it, so he knows. She only flies El Al. So to say a few words and to introduce the film, please welcome Einat Sarouf. Einat, thank you so much for being here.
I look like a grandma, and I have four, I have three granddaughter and one grandboy. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Einat Sarouf, and I'm an actor and singer from Israel. Tonight, I'm proud, and really proud, to present the film, The Woman's Balcony, on behalf of all the actors and actresses of the film. Igal, Evelyn, Aviv, Itzik, Orna, Yafit, Asaf, Sharona, Chaim, and Herzl, who plays my husband. The film is the biggest box office hit that has touched many hearts, and I want to tell you why. It tells a moving Israeli story about a tight-knit community living humbly within the walls of Jerusalem, old city. Among community members, there is happiness and sadness, conflict and romance, but above all, they are united as a community. At the center of the story is the synagogue in which they pray and also celebrate. Inside the synagogue is a small area called the women's section or balcony, in which the true heroes of this community gather and from which they struggle to save their dignity. In the process, they fight for values such friendship, justice, and mutual respect. But I don't want to tell you too much, because very soon you will be able to see the film for yourselves and feel its magic, I think. Our wonderful director, Emil Ben Shimon, and the super talent writer, Shlomit Nechama, here with us tonight. And really, you need to clap your hands for her. She wrote, she thought, she did everything. She's amazing. So they cast a great team of actors and actresses who went through a unique experience together in that Jerusalem neighborhood, and we were all happy to see that experience so perfectly played out on the big screen, in Israel and here too, and in Europe. Israeli audience have fallen in love with the film, and I hope you do too. On a personal note, in September 1977, my father, Ben Zion Khalfon, who was the Deputy Minister of Agriculture in Israel, was killed in a car accident and was buried on the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem. I was 14 then, and as I saw it, he left to live on the mountain, and I would come every once in a while to visit him. So you can imagine how it was for me to arrive each day to the film set in Jerusalem's Nachlaot neighborhood and see in front of me the top of the Mount of Olives and the Mount of Olives. Thank you, sorry. And to know that my father is watching me over from there. He is with me whatever I am. I would like to thank all of you for coming here tonight. And I want to say many thanks to Avi Turgeman, Yara Kedem, Sabrina Bloch, and to Isaac. It's among a lot of work. And now I invite you to sit back and to imagine being in the most beautiful city in the world, Jerusalem, and meet the wonderful little community.
If you haven't gotten enough, Einat will be back here right after the film, along with Shlomit for a special Q&A and more surprises. And those who stay for the Q&A will also be treated for a reception upstairs afterwards. And I want to thank Israeli Wine Direct for providing the wine. A big thank you to Menemsha Films, who is releasing this film. Did I mention it's coming to theaters this weekend? Enjoy the film, silence your cell phones, keep them in your pocket, no texting during the film, text right afterwards, post on